Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and as you can probably hear, it's taken a bit of a worse turn, but I can't call and see the doctor because I'm out today. Today's Paul's birthday and we have to leave fairly early, so I can't make an appointment. Not that it's easy to make an appointment in any case, but I could get on and do the e-consult and see if I can get one that way, but pretty difficult when you're not going to be around. So I thought I'd just pop on and make a video. I don't know how long it'll be, and I probably will cough and splutter through it, so sorry about that. So last evening I made 4 batches of sausage rolls, and I usually only ever do them at Christmas, but I got the stuff from a supermarket, and ideally I would have liked to have done them this morning because they are the best the day you make them, but like I said, we've got to get out pretty early really, and not like mega early, but it wouldn't really have been good to spend a couple of hours doing them this morning. Anyway, hopefully they'll be all right. I've put them in the fridge, so I never usually, well, I'm supposed to do put them in the fridge after the first day, but you know, I just would have preferred them to be in tip-top condition when they have them, but never mind. Tis you know, one of those things, you can't leave sausage out overnight. So been a bit of a drama last night. While I was cooking them, Gary came out and sat in the kitchen with me and hovering. I think he just wanted sausage rolls, to be honest, and he did get a couple. He thought, you know, he'd come out and be with me in the kitchen, and I could hear this sounded like drip, drip, drip. And we do have a drippy tap if you don't turn it really tight, but it wasn't that. And I thought maybe it's where the sausage rolls are cooking, and you know that the fats come out and it spits. Maybe that's it. And it wasn't until we'd finished and Gary said, "Oh, I'm off to bed now," and he went, leaving me kind of to, you know, on my own. And I went into the living room and I thought, I can hear this drip, drip. And when I looked, it was dripping out of our air conditioning. And it's above the TV. So, and that was all on. And it was dripping on the electric plugs. Seriously. And onto the floor behind the TV. Because, you know, TVs don't have that back on anymore. So it wasn't dripping onto the actual TV. So I called Gary and he got tissues and mopped it all around inside. And so now we're a bit, I took my tissues out. Now we're a bit scared to use it in the, no, I haven't, hidden by my cup. A bit scared to use it in the living room. It was still on in the bedroom and it wasn't doing anything like that. But, yeah. We spoke to Melvin when he came down the other day because it was, you know, it smelt occasionally. And Melvin said, "Oh, you don't want to pay anyone to do it. They'll rip you off." But Gary was Googling it and it was saying about how you need your pipe work and filters cleaned out. And Melvin's like, no, it'll be fine. Anyway, now it's decided whatever's in there has bunged it completely up and it's dripping out. So, yeah, I'm going to have to call someone. And there's the dilemma, not knowing who to call. It's not like we have air conditioning in our homes readily in the UK. Still, it's getting more prevalent, but it's still kind of a rarity that you get units put in. I'm going to have to blow. I'm sorry, guys. It's not been like a terrible cold or anything so far. Just a little bit. And now I've got a lovely shiny red nose again. Just for you. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, so that's a bit of a pain, especially as it's going to get really hot again and we're going to want to use it. But I'm just going to have to dig out the fans for the front room. I do have a couple of fans. And a little while ago I found the remotes. Now, do you know where I've put them? Same place as the keys, I guess. It only took me about 2 years to find that book that had all the passwords in for Gary. And I found it in the most weirdest place. Can't remember where now, but it was an odd place. It really was. Anyway, I just looked and I have no glasses in here. So you bet your life there'll be reading involved. So we had Boba and Fennec Shand. Oh, no reading. And I have no clue what this is. Maybe that will shed some light on. Not much. Not much. Yeah, I kind of thought I hadn't made a video for today, obviously, because I was busy yesterday. And it's for tomorrow anyway, isn't it? Because my today is your tomorrow. Your tomorrow, my yesterday. Yeah, I said it would be reading. Look at that lot. Oh my word. Oh my days. I think I need a spotlight on it. Let's see. It's not all doom and gloom. Along with the wrinkles, hair loss and clicking knees, your 60th birthday does bring some undeniable advantages. You can cunningly pretend not to hear anything you don't want to hear. You can enjoy the cheek of telling your grandchildren not to do what you did. Your extra chin can act as a bookrest. John Newbold. My wife said to me, I didn't look 50. Do I, darling? No, not anymore. Bob Monkhouse. Ah, Bob Monkhouse. Master of the one-liner. My son brought me one of those newfangled GPS watches for my birthday. Not a lot of use to me. I'm still trying to get the hang of the sundial. Stuart and Linda McFarland. So, we still have a few pages. Put my bookmark in, even though it's right near the end. Well, we managed that. Or even I did. You know. Not we. It's only me. I had a message from Gary. So it's the... oh, actually, he sent me an air conditioning group. So we'll have a look into that at the end of this video. So I thought, you know, I don't know what time I'll get back tonight. So I thought I'll make this video now. Because, yeah, I might not be back till late. But then again, it really depends on how I feel, I guess. Obviously, as it's his birthday, I don't want to rush off, but at the same time, I just have to see how I feel. I'll sit in the corner and just drink. I don't mean like booze, because, you know, I don't drink anymore. I don't drink any less. No, it's not just as a joke. I don't drink at all. Apart from when they give it to me in a restaurant, and it's meant not to be. I think they should have made more of a fuss about that. Just to say, oh, sorry, and give me another one. What if it had been like a severe allergy of mine? They should have knocked something off the bill, I think. But I didn't complain. Gary has made me a nice cup of tea. Oh, for those of you who don't know that story, Gary and I went out for lunch. Kind of dinner, but late afternoon. And we went to the restaurant that we went to with Martin and Melvin. I had something different from the time that we went before. And I'd asked for an alcohol-free cuppa bag, which is a strawberry and lime flavoured, very sweet, fruity cider. But it's alcohol-free. And I'd been drinking it the night before. So she brought, and it was so very loud in there, because they have this, this freestanding air conditioning unit with big pipes sticking out of it. Looks pretty space age. And it was right by us, and it was quite noisy, and then the noise of the rest of the people talking. And so, and I just said, you know, and I was sort of stressed alcohol free. I was halfway through it, and I saw 4% on it. And I thought, whoa, hang on. So, yeah. Luckily, you know, I noticed it, but really it was a bit, could have been dodgy. It depends why I wanted alcohol free, doesn't it? What if I'd been a recovering alcoholic and it set me back? What if I'd been severely allergic to it? So yeah, anyway, what if I was driving and it would have took me over the edge and I got stopped and breathalyzed? It's a lot of bad things, isn't it? And all she said was, oh, ever so sorry, brought me another one. Anyway, none of those things applied, but it's still a bit, I think they should have took money off the bill or something to sort of prove their, you know, how sorry they were. Anyway, never mind. It's over and done. So I didn't do any crochet yesterday. All I did was make sausage rolls. Yes, actually, I did. Look, I made this. And what is that, you might ask? That is the little tiny piece of swatch that proves my stitch counts for something. You know, I kind of wanted to make sure that I'd got the right multiple, so that's what that was, and it worked out. I'm usually pretty good at working them out in my head, but I like to just cement that by trying it out, and it was fine. That's the crochet I did, and I wrote some stuff down in my head, you know, I wrote it onto paper, so it hasn't really transposed itself into actual physical work yet. But, you know, you have to let me off. I'm not very well. So I've not really got much else to tell you, really, other than drippy aircon and sausage roll making. I'm going to have to pass on that recipe. I was going to make some banana cake, but I had no butter, so I couldn't do that, and neither of us were well enough to go to the shop and get it. So, yeah, and I figured, you know, there'd be plenty of cake there with a big birthday cake. So I didn't do it, but I've got lots of bananas that need using up. You know, Gary won't eat them because they're yellow. He only likes green. Gross. I don't know how anyone can eat a green banana, but he won't eat them if they're yellow. He likes all his fruit on the hard side, you know. Anyway, I'm going to have a quick slurp. Cheers, guys. I think I'm starting to lose my taste buds, and I know why. It's lockets, but last night with the cooking, see, before I did mine, I've got to blow again, hang on. Not really anything to blow, but last night, before I did the sausage rolls, Gary put 2 baked potatoes in the oven. So we had that for dinner, and it was a very small dinner. We didn't eat much at all. Mainly because we didn't get anything out. The previous day, Gary was eating absolutely nothing at all, and, you know, plus I'm not being very well to think about it. So there was 3 sausages between 2 of us, and no sausage rolls at this stage. I hadn't made them, and a tiny baked potato. So we had that, but because he puts them in the oven, and you know, normally you don't notice the smell of the oven, but as soon as you've got a sore throat of any kind, it's like thick smoke that's killing you. That's how it feels. So I've had all that, and then I did mine in the Ninja. My Ninja's like an oven, and I did it in the oven Ninja. And I guess that might have churned out a little bit of smoke as they were cooking. Not smoke exactly, but you know, the oil comes out, and then that's what smokes. And it's on a baking sheet, but it's probably still caused it. So I just got more and more and more aggravated by it as the evening went on, which is why the aircon was on, to try and blow some fresh air around. But all it did was drip. Sort of. By the time I noticed it was such a loud drip. My computer's on, if you wonder what that was. When my face suddenly decided to start glowing blue. Yeah, so let me just click onto there. Won't move anymore. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Drip. Oh yeah. So yeah, it started to loudly drip because it dripped so much it was now a puddle under it, on the carpet behind the TV unit, which I can never clean. So, you know, just denying, but never mind. Yeah. Cup of tea. Mustn't let it get cold. Can't taste it really. I'm just about. So that'd be nice, going to a restaurant today without much in the way of taste buds. I'll test it out soon. I'm not really hungry at the minute, but normally after about an hour of being awake, I'm like, feed me. So I did make oats, and I've got to feed the cat because she's, I heard her having a moan at me, and I thought, should I do my video first? Probably should have get on the cat first. It's not like she's starved to death though, is it? She's a little gannet. She always wants to eat. Anyway, I better get off and stop croaking all my germs at you. I just wanted to sort of come on and, you know, so there is a video for tomorrow, because as we mentioned earlier, my today's your tomorrow. And it was either that or say, sorry, I'm just too ill to make one. And I didn't want to do that. I know there's a few people that sit there and they wait for my videos to come up. And, you know, they're kind of like a little lifeline for them. So I would always try and do it. And if I was just too ill, then I wouldn't do it. You know, I know that when that is, it's like I have that. Sometimes it's just like, you can't let them see how ill you look. I mean, I'm not pretty crappy today, but no, it can get worse, I assure you. And there are times when I just know I can't be in charge of even a mouse today, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching. And at least you know you can't get the germs if I breathe all over you. You're not getting them, are you? So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. I'll let you know how Paul's birthday goes. And the sausage rolls. Bye for now.